Welcome to Celestial Weddings. Please take a seat. I'm Marina and I'm so excited to start helping you plan your wedding. So, a bit about myself. I've been working as a wedding planner for over 12 years, and my love for everything wedding and events definitely stemmed from watching wedding films from a young age. In the past, I've worked for a local luxury wedding venue and as an events and wedding manager, and I've learned invaluable lessons and knowledge about customer service and how important it is to have everything meticulously planned while still having a plan B. Here at Celestial Weddings, we're a team of wedding planners and we really focus on luxury weddings based here in the UK, as well as destination weddings abroad. We've worked with fantastic suppliers all over the world, and no event or wedding is too small or big. We really pride ourselves on our creativity, our personal touch to each wedding and event, and the way that we plan mean that your ideas and dreams come to life without exceeding your budget. So that's me. I think that's enough about me for now, but I want to get to know you guys a little bit more, and then we can talk about the packages and find the right one for you. How does that sound so far? Fantastic. So let's start by getting to know each other. So how long have you known each other and how did you meet? Oh, lovely. I'm just going to write notes so I remember everything. Don't worry. I know it seems a bit strange when we're having conversation, but I just want to make sure that I've got everything noted. And then actually sometimes some of these questions while I get to know you will influence perhaps how you want to plan things, if you want to incorporate some things about how you met, kind of events you've been to and things like that. So I think it's always a good idea. So I'm just going to write some notes down if that's okay. But yeah, carry on. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh wow, you've been together for 10 years. Oh, fantastic. Well, congratulations on your engagement. Fantastic. And typically, where do you go on dates? Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. And what is your favourite restaurant or type of food? Okay. And what type of vacations do you choose? And that could be like if you do it together, or if you do like separate vacation with your friends. That's good to know as well. Yeah, I think an all-inclusive is something you just can't beat. So I'm definitely a fan of those for sure. It's good to hear you do like city breaks and things like that as well, to explore cities a bit. And what are your hobbies and interests? Oh, that's lovely to hear that you go to classes together. Okay. Very nice. And what type of music do you enjoy typically? And do you have any sort of favourite artists? Okay. Fantastic. And I know you guys have been together for 10 years, but how long have you been engaged? Okay. Lovely. And tell me all about the wedding proposal. Was it a surprise? Oh, lovely. That's so sweet. is one of my favourite parts of the job, finding this out, because everyone does it in a different way. Oh, that's so lovely. Okay, so it's been really great starting to get you to know you guys a little bit more. It's very interesting, everything I've found out, and I love the proposal, and I love that you do classes together every week, so that's been really lovely finding out. So I think now it'd be good if I run you through the types of packaging that we offer here at Celestial Weddings. So I'll just get our list up so you can look on the screen here as well. It'll be a bit easier. So we've got about sort of 4 packages or services, I'd say, that we offer. So we do full wedding planning, and this is really a service for couples who feel they need full support and experience of a wedding planner. As we're doing now, I really want to focus on getting to know you, your ideas, your wishes for your wedding, and analyse the style you have in mind. I will then kind of use my experience, contacts, creativity and planning skills to put all of this together to create the wedding of your dreams. So that's the first option. I can also help you with sort of partial wedding planning, and this is really for couples who may have already planned some aspects of their wedding. And then we've got on the day wedding management, and this is really for couples who have everything planned and organised but feel they would like a professional day on the day just to make sure everything runs smoothly. Then the final wedding service that we provide is all around destination weddings. We can plan flawless destination weddings at the venue of your dream, as we have contacts in venues all around the world, and we'll work with local suppliers to ensure your ideas and needs are met. So whether you're thinking about a wedding in Europe, America, the Caribbean or Asia, we have a fantastic experience working in those locations in particular, in beautiful venues, and we know the best suppliers to recommend and help work on your wedding. So those are the sort of services that we have. Don't worry too much about which you prefer, but just know that those are the options available. Okay, you're thinking you got 2 in mind. Okay, no worries at all. Well, I'll speak to you now in a bit more detail to kind of find out more about your requirements, and then we can kind of get the right package as well that works for you. Yeah? Okay. So let's start talking a little bit about the wedding atmosphere and that you want for your wedding, essentially. So do you have any ideas on the season or the date for your wedding? Okay, great. And do you know the location or city that you'd like to have your wedding in? And would you say that the date or the location is most important? Great. And do you envision a daytime, afternoon or evening wedding? And what's the most important thing about your wedding? So just to give you like a little bit of help there, because I know it can seem like a bit of an overwhelming question. So you could say things to me like music, food, photos, design, guest experience. What would you say would be the most important thing for you guys? Okay, great. And how do you feel about venues that have multiple weddings at the same time? Okay. And how many guests will you be expecting? And what's your estimated overall wedding budget? And can I ask, does that budget include other wedding events such as a rehearsal dinner? Okay. Yeah. And what about the cost of wedding rings? Okay, so that one's separate. Okay, anyway, I like to ask these things because I know when you think of wedding planning, there's a few things that can kind of miss your kind of to-do list. So just getting an idea. And then, does this budget include the honeymoon? And then, how many bridesmaids will there be? Okay. And how about groomsmen? Okay. And will you have flower girl or flower girls, ring bearers? Okay. And will your wedding be child friendly or adults only? Do you have venue concerns about children, elderly relatives, or disabled guests? Great. And then, do you have any preferences for environmentally friendly, green, or organic for your wedding day? Great. And then I just want to start looking at kind of your general wedding style. So what words would you use to describe your ideal wedding day? So you could say things like romantic, elegant, simple, classy, fun, casual, vintage, modern, rustic, non-traditional, traditional even so, timeless, unique, old world, trendy, eclectic, whimsical, glamorous. Okay, and what are your favourite colours? And then what are your least favourite colours? And what are your opinion on linens, candles, food presentation, fabric, draping and lighting? Are those types of details really important to you? And where do you shop for home decor and furnishings? Okay. And what about clothes? Where do you shop for those? Mm-hmm. And then in terms of the ceremony, what is the location preference for you? So for example, would you like it indoors, outdoors, there to be a scenic view, to be in a church, ballroom, a synagogue, or anything else? And will your ceremony have any specific religious elements and decor? And if so, what would they be? Okay, sure, note that down. And do you have any unique needs or requests for the ceremony location? For example, would you like it to be pet friendly, handicap accessible, shaded, eco-friendly, or anything like that? those down, no worries at all. And do you anticipate having a ceremony that is less than 30 minutes, or perhaps a ceremony that is 30 to 60 minutes or longer? Okay. Sure. And will you see each other prior to the ceremony for a first look? Okay. And what type of wedding minister would you like to have? Okay. Sure. And do you have any other preferences or requests for the ceremony? Okay. Okay, sure. And then in terms of the reception, what location would be your preference? So some things that typically my clients consider can include sort of historic mansions, hotel ballroom, country club, park, rustic cabin, barn, tent, farm, winery, loft, restaurant, private home, or anything like that. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's absolutely fine to have a few ideas in mind. Nothing is set in stone. Like I said, we'll work through this together, so no worries at all. And do you have any unique needs or requests for the reception location? So again, if it needs to be pet friendly, eco-friendly, things like that. And will you have a cocktail hour before the reception? And if so, would you like to have appetizers and drinks served? Okay, fantastic. And what type of dinner would you like to have? So some of the options that we typically look at include buffet, plated, food stations, family style, so whatever you have in mind there. Yeah. Sure. And what type of menu are you interested in having? So would you say Greek, Mexican, American, Italian, Indian, comfort food, barbecue? Got any thoughts around that? Oh, lovely. That sounds delicious. Okay, great. And will you have a bar? And if so, what types of alcohols will be served? Okay. And then based on that, I've got quite an important question to ask you. So will the bar be hosted, or will guests be asked to pay for certain drinks? And there's absolutely no right or wrong way to go about this. It's totally up to you, and what fits in with your budget and your beliefs and things like that. So don't worry, it's totally fine either way. Yeah, after all, this is your day, so don't worry at all. Sometimes some of my clients, what they like to do is say they give their guests like 3 tokens for 3 sort of alcoholic drinks, and then the non-alcoholic ones are unlimited, for example. Or you could just do general like 3 token drinks and then you pay from then on. Or you can do a whole bar where you only have the cocktail, like the welcome cocktail is included, and then the rest they have to pay. So it's totally up to you. I think you're thinking about what you want to do, and that's the best thing ever, because this is all about you guys, so don't worry, nothing right or wrong. I know it's a sensitive topic sometimes, but you have to do what's right for you. After all, it's your day. Great. And will you have a champagne toast at the wedding? Okay, fantastic. And will anyone give a welcome speech or perhaps a blessing prior to the dinner? Okay, that's good, you're really thinking about this, well done. Will you have the traditional wedding elements such as a first dance, parent dances, cake cutting, toast, bouquet, toss? And by the way, you don't have to do them all. You can do none of them, you can do some of them. It's just whatever is your preference. Every wedding has to be unique, and whatever you decide is right for you, that's totally fine. So just asking, this is like the traditional ones, and if there's any aspects of this that you'd like, it's good to sort of prepare for that as well. Okay, great. Fantastic. And do you have any other preferences or requests for the reception that I should know about? Okay, fantastic. That's great, thank you so much. So now I want to move on to speak to you about the photography. So what type of photography style do you like? Okay, yeah. And how many hours of coverage do you anticipate having on the wedding day? Okay, sure. And would you like to hire a professional photographer for other wedding related events such as a rehearsal dinner, post wedding day brunch, welcome reception or bridal shower? Sure. I think that's good to have a professional photographer to get really those high quality images and images that you cherish forever, but at the same time it's good to have family taking pictures and friends as well, just so you can get kind of the pictures a bit more quickly, because sometimes I know with the photographers they take a bit of a while to edit the photos and things like that, so that's good to have a mix, definitely. And would you like to have an engagement photo session, boudoir session, or bridal portrait session with your wedding photographer? I would say that I do encourage my clients to go for an engagement photo session, definitely. And the reason for that is you just want to get to know your photographer, make sure you're comfortable with that person taking photos on the wedding and you're happy with their style. So I think it's sort of a small photo shoot just so you can get used to being in front of the camera as well if you're not used to that, and you can get comfortable with that person, get to know that person a little bit more, and then you should be happy based on who I'm going to find you. But in case you weren't happy, you know, okay, that's not the right person to be taking pictures of what can be considered the most important day of my life. So I would encourage that. The other ones are sort of more optional and whatever you like to do, but an engagement photo session I would recommend. Yeah, okay, great. And what photography products are you interested in having? So for example, would you like to have an album, parent albums, digital images, online galleries, slideshow? Okay, fantastic. And then, do you have any additional requests related to photography coverage for your wedding day? Great, perfect. And I'll ask this because I know people tend to go for photography, but there's also the option of going for video as well. That can be nice to complement. And due to this, I'd just like to ask what type of video style you like. Okay. Great. And how many hours of coverage do you anticipate having on the day for videos in this case? Okay, sure. And again, with that, would you like to hire a professional videographer for this? And also like other wedding related events, as we spoke about, like your rehearsal dinner, perhaps your post-wedding brunch, bridal shower, things like that. Okay, sure. And then what sort of video products are you interested in having? So, for example, would you like a wedding highlight video, social media length short video, or sort of a full feature wedding video, a love story video shoot, or anything else you can think of? Okay. Okay. Great, thank you. Then in terms of music and entertainment, what type of ceremony music would you like? So typically people choose string, harps, violin, bagpipes, classic guitar, soloist, DJ, but it's totally up to you what you envision and what would be perfect for you. Okay. And what type of cocktail hour music would you like? So again, some examples could be string quartet, band, vocal duo, soloist, DJ. Okay. And then in terms of the reception, what music or entertainment would you like? So would you like to have a band, a DJ, or both a band and a DJ, or anything else? Okay. And for the entertainment, for the reception, what genres of music would you like to be played? So, would you like, for example, 80s, top 40, country, jazz, or anything else? Okay, no worries. Yeah, and I mean, couples tend to actually create playlists like on Spotify and share it with their DJ, so that's no problem at all. But it's good to sort of know the genre you like, so they can base it off that as well. And once if you were to send them a playlist, once they see that, they'll be able to kind of get the vibe and everything. So don't worry about that. And do you have any other additional requests related to music and entertainment for your wedding day? And now onto my favourite part, wedding cake and desserts. So would you like to have a traditional wedding cake, or do you prefer to have other types of dessert offerings? So for example, you could have a dessert bar, ice cream bar, cupcakes, donuts, cookies, candy buffet, pies, whatever you want. What are you thinking so far? Okay. Sure. And would you like to have a groom's cake at the wedding? And if so, is there a particular style of cake that you have in mind? Sure. And are there particular flavours or flavour combinations that you would like for the cake or desserts? And do you have ideas on the style or look of the wedding cakes or desserts? Okay, that sounds really lovely. Fantastic. And then in terms of flowers and decor, what are your thoughts on flowers for the wedding? And do you anticipate having a large quantity of flowers, or do you prefer sort of a more simple style, would you say? Okay, sure. And what are your favourite flowers? Okay. And then what are your least favourite flowers? Do you have any ideas on centerpieces? Okay. And we can explore this together, so no worries, whatever you sort of think of now, that's great. You can add that in as an idea. I'll take direction from you, of course. And do you have any ideas on bouquets? And how about the ceremony decor? Have you had to think about that? And do you have any ideas on the reception decor? Lovely. And then do you anticipate having other decor such as fabric draping, lighting, special linens, unique decor, or sort of furniture rentals? And don't worry if you haven't thought about all this. I just want to try and cover all bases initially and at least get the thoughts kind of flowing through your head. So if you wanted to input specific things, you could as well. Right. Now let's speak about transportation, I should say. Do you have any transportation needs that you anticipate on having on the wedding day? So this could be, for example, wedding party transportation, guest transportation, or potentially transportation from the ceremony to the reception. Anything like that, or like a transportation for yourselves at the end of the evening, things like that. Okay. And I mean, it may also depend on the location, because we haven't like defined that yet, and we can discuss that, but it's good to have that in mind. Okay, fantastic. And then what types of specific transportation are you interested in? So for example, limos, shuttles, buses, horse and carriage, anything else like that? And then in terms of stationery and favours, how important are stationery items such as invitations and save the dates? And do you plan to send save the dates cards? Okay. And are there any particular styles of stationery that you like? So for example, traditional, handmade, modern, recycled, colourful, unique, letterpress, or anything like that? Okay, lovely. And would you like to hire a calligrapher to address the invitations at all? Great. And what other stationery items do you anticipate having for your wedding day? So for example, you could have ceremony programs, menu cards, place cards, table numbers, guest book signage, directional signage, or anything like that. I know I've got everything. I'm just trying to cover all bases, and don't worry if you don't think of all these things. I'm here to help, of course. I just want to cover everything so we have that initially, and we can, work on this. It's not set in stone. And then, are you planning to give a favour to each guest? And if so, do you have any ideas in mind? Okay. Sure. And do you guest book at the wedding? If so, do you have any ideas in mind about the type or style? Okay. Sure. And are you interested in having guest welcome bags for your out-of-town guests? Okay. And do you have any additional requests related to stationery on your wedding? Okay. Great. So now we move on to fashion and beauty. So what styles in mind do you have for your wedding attire? So are we looking at things like formal wedding gown, casual wedding dress, tux, suit, vintage apparel, anything like that? And this can be just your ideas, as I mentioned. Everything's work in progress. Okay. Oh nice, that sounds really lovely. And then in terms of bridesmaids, what do you anticipate on them wearing? Okay. And how about the groomsmen? What do you think they should wear? Okay. And then what types of wedding rings do you anticipate on purchasing? Okay. And will the bride and the bridesmaid have their hair and makeup done professionally on the wedding day, or do you just want to do it for yourself? Okay, sure. And then I have to ask, because it's really important for bride to feel as relaxed as possible. So as I was mentioning, try and have an engagement photo shoot if you can, so you can make sure the photographer is right for you and you know what kind of wedding photos you'll get ahead of the day. But I also recommend for brides really to have a trial run with their hairstylist and makeup artist prior to the wedding. How do you feel about that? Okay, right. And do you have any additional requests related to fashion and beauty for your wedding day? Great, so I think we've mainly covered everything, but I just want to finish off by asking a few miscellaneous details and then looking at how I can help you best. So, are there any unique ideas you'd like to have at your wedding? So, this could be, for example, a photo booth, a coffee bar, an ice sculpture, a video booth, or anything like that. Oh, lovely. Good idea. And then what other wedding related events will you be planning? So for example, rehearsal dinner, post-wedding day brunch, welcome reception, bridesmaids lunch, bachelor and bachelorette parties, wedding week guest activities and things like that. And will you be going on a honeymoon? And if so, what locations are you considering? Oh, lovely. And then in how I can help you best, what frustrates you the most about wedding planning? Would it be things like money or budget, family dynamics, guest list, bridal party, or anything else? And then what do you want me to know about your life? So do you have, for example, crazy work or school schedules, medical needs, unique family dynamics or anything like that? Okay. Cool. Just think that's how I like to ask that. And it's different for everyone, so don't worry. I appreciate you feeling comfortable to share that with me. And is there any part of the planning or wedding day that makes you feel anxious or nervous at all? So things that some people tend to worry about is are things like not looking good, bad guest experience, unruly wedding guests, running behind schedule, or weather and things like that. Okay, I'll note that down. And then, do you have any additional requests, thoughts or ideas for your wedding day that we haven't talked about? No, you're happy with everything? I've done quite an extensive list. Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much for answering all these questions. This has been a really lovely session, getting to know you and finding out what you want for your wedding day. I know you kind of spoke about wanting either sort of a full wedding service or perhaps one abroad. So what I suggest is I'm gonna analyze and look at our option based on your preferences and come up with a sort of more UK based wedding and then one abroad, so then we can just compare and contrast and see how you're feeling. So I'll put a little pack together for you. I should be able to get that to you by next week, so bear with me, and once that's ready I will share that with you. So that will typically include kind of a Pinterest board I'll have, and then I'll have sort of options, venues and things like that, and we can talk through it all. How does that sound so far? Yeah, fantastic, great. So bear with me, I'll put that together, I'll share it to you guys by email, and then you can review it, and then just whenever you feel comfortable and you look through it and you've got some thoughts around what I've sent you, we can have a in-person session again, of course, and we can kind of work things on how we want to go forward, and then make sure this is the most perfect day of your lives, of course. But yeah, absolutely lovely to meet you. Let me know if you've got any questions, but I really look forward to working with you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.